Okay, we're recording.
Oh boy, oh boy. Tell the people who we are.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Art Girlie Poetry Club podcast. I'm Steven,
I'm Beth.
and we're trying so hard to be art girlies online. And guys, it's such a struggle.
We're trying so hard in general.
That's true.
Just trying hard.
In spite of it all, we're still here.
Yeah, and look at this. I set up a mic today.
I set up one camera instead of two, but we take that.
You set up a whole camera today. We're doing really well.
Imagine if we told our ancestors we did that. They would be like, "What's a camera?" So they're proud.
That is so true. We're way ahead of our ancestors.
We're geniuses.
So, setting up the camera today, and the mic, I'm just like, how would you do that all the time?
Oh yeah. Like the amount of
But I have a theory.
the amount of your art practices just setting up things that aren't art is excruciating.
Yes, yes. But my cousin who just had a baby, she has baby cams.
Oh, like a panda cam like they have at the San Diego Zoo, but for babies?
Yes. So if we just had baby cams, we would never have to set up again.
Like we just have ambient cameras rolling 24/7 to make sure that we're making art?
Yeah, and then we'll have content all the time.
That's like my parents have they have multiple cameras to watch the dog when they're away. And this is not a high needs dog. This is a very normal dog. But when they first got it, because not only does it record audio, they can also like say something into their mic and it'll announce it out of the recording camera. So if they saw the dog on the couch, they'd be like, off, off. And it would freak him out because he'd be like, where are they? Where's his voice coming from? So we should do that if we see each other not drawing.
That's great. Get out of bed.
Bad.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Bad Art Girlie. So why don't you tell the people what Art Girlie Poetry Club podcast is all about?
Okay, well I'll tell you what I think it's all about.
Also, sidebar, before we get into that, should we start drawing now or after we do the intro?
Great question. We should start now because otherwise I'll never finish.
That's so true. Also, I'll just not start drawing.
Oh, that's also true. And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Well, how about we say what we're gonna make? Or what are you
Okay.
gonna draw? Or is it a surprise?
I think what I'm going to draw, I'm just going to give you some vibes because I don't exactly know what I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw some like cozy things that like are the vibe that I want to have in my future/present art girly studio.
Ooh, manifesting.
Yeah, manifesting. Just some nice little like props and like prop design. Maybe some cute drawings of me. Maybe some stuffies and animals that I want to live in my studio. I think that's like a good place to start the pod.
Yeah, that's great. Much more like on topic than what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make a little cinema roll collage because of popularity. Also, I want to be one of my like art girly poser goals is to be an expert in Sanrio. Because you're an expert in Pokemon, and I've always been a little bit jealous of that skill.
It came at a great cost of not having friends as a child. All that socializing part of my brain just went to Pokemon storage. So, everything comes at a price.
Yeah, I don't know what I gained from not having friends. I suppose I was trying to find friends. But
look at
thankfully,
you now, you're thriving.
Look at me now, I'm on a podcast.
With a friend.
With a friend. Found one.
Got it.
Oh yeah. But I want to memorize all the characters, and I want to know how to draw them from memory, and I've been practicing. So far, I can draw Little Twin Stars, and Choco Cat, Karopi, My Melody from memory.
That's pretty good.
And Cinnamon Roll, pretty much I can. I don't know, his face is just a little wonky, so I always forget.
Those little twins kind of freaked me out, if I'm being
Oh, I
honest.
love them. They were my favorite back in the day.
I don't know what their deal is. Like, it's sort of like Ice Climbers and Super Smash Brothers, where like,
Oh,
are they
yeah,
siblings
that's
or are
true.
they lovers? Like, it's
Oh,
sort
come
of
on. They are besties.
Yeah, they were voted #1 in Alabama.
They were?
Just
Did you look at
kidding.
every state?
No, I'm just saying because they're siblings and
I
lovers.
believe you.
Okay, so what's our Girlie Poser Club podcast about? I don't think we got to that part.
Well, here's what it's about. It's about how you and I want to be part of the Art Girlie Club.
Oh, yeah.
But since it's so hard, we had to make our own club for posers.
So true.
And this podcast is going to be about the struggle it is to be a cutesy art girly and a successful artist
So hard,
slash
guys.
blogger.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it. What are your art girly goals?
Man. I mean, real talk? If I could, like, be, like, making a living off this, that's a goal. That's a little too real, though. Just, like, the animation industry that I work in is sort of cratering, and so everybody I know is like, what are some other revenue streams I can create? So I think everyone's sort of got their mind focused on, like, second and third revenue sources right now, and so cultivating a cult of personality around who I am and selling that as a brand to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of where my mind is. Money, money, money.
What would it look like for you to be a successful art girly besides the money? Like, what would you be like all over YouTube? Would you be on selling your stuff on TikTok?
TikTok that's gonna be a big bridge for me to cross. I've sort of been anti-TikTok just philosophically till now, but I do think you're right, and I'd have to make some sacrifices and get on the TikTok. I think making it, like, getting to where I want to be is probably like whenever you get to be a featured girly in a collab from another girly, like where you make it into the thumbnail. And it's like, I'm gonna go see so-and-so's studio and we're gonna draw together. Like, meeting up IRL and just hanging out and appearing in the vlogs, that's making it.
Well, here's the benefit of doing a poser club is we already have each other.
You're so right.
So we can easily cross over.
That's so true. We're already doing it.
But I get what you're saying.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, we're already doing it. We've already made it. Yeah, so, okay, so you want to make a living off of this. That's big goal, big goal.
Yeah.
All for it.
Pie in the sky, being able to pay rent with art.
I mean, that's what you're doing now. You're just kind of transferring it.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I just don't want to be homeless. That's sort of...
That is always my goal.
Yeah, don't be homeless.
That's how I know I'm like, okay. Like, whenever I'm like, I don't make enough money, I think, well, I paid rent this month, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah. What about for you?
My goal is not to make a living off of this, but it would be nice to make some money. What I want is to build a following so that when I do make things that I want to make money off of, then I will have people to buy them.
Yes.
But what I don't want is to be constantly, like, thinking about money. And I feel like it's hard if your life is your income, you know?
Absolutely.
But actually I wouldn't know because that's never been the case for me.
Wait, what do you mean?
I've never had my life be my income. I'm just like...
Oh, you mean like selling your personality as a product?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I agreed to that, as if I was, like, we were both already doing that. Like, oh yeah, it's so hard.
Well, I would imagine. Considering how long it took us to set up. I just like thinking about doing that 24/7. I don't know. But I do want to have like a presence on Instagram, and I want people to know me, because I was just talking about this with one of my storytelling classmates last night. Like when you know the artist, you're like much more likely to support them.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want it to be just me like putting up some collages and being like, this is it. I want people to know who I am and root for me and publish me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like when I think about some of the like YouTube art girlies that I am now parasocially attached to, like not all of them, but a couple of them, I'm like, if I just saw their art out in the wild, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cute, but it's like I wouldn't be like rabid over it.
Exactly.
But because I'm now attached to them in a way that my brain thinks I know them in real life, now I'm like attached to their art too, because I see my understanding of their personality in what they're putting out there in their art.
Yes. And even when like I go to an art show or craft fair or something, if I talk to anyone longer than 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, I have to buy something. They're so cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good way of putting it. Like the like convention small talk into buying something pipeline, but like the online version of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to cultivate. Like we're the very vocal people at like the conventions of the Zine Fest. Like, hey there, do you like cats? Well, I have this great zine that's all about cats. Why don't you take a look? Here, I'm handing it to you. What are you guys doing today? And suddenly you're sucked into telling them your life story, and then you're like, oh god, how do I get out of this? How do I extract myself? I should buy a zine.
Okay, I was thinking more like, well, I like them so much, I want them to have my money.
It could be two things.
But yeah, it could be either one. But I think it's so funny because I don't know about you. I mean, I know how we used to be at Zine Fests, but I am not like that in real life.
No, that was a time in my life, and I don't do that anymore. It's a lot to be that.
Well, I feel like when we were doing Zine Fests together, we were not really like very we weren't very like, here's our thing. We were like, eating sandwiches in the back behind the table.
My dad brought me Subway. Do you want some?
Exactly.
Shout out to my dad for bringing Subway.
Yeah, that was actually a game changer for the day.
Yeah, it's a miracle that anybody can like talk at like an actual convention, because every time we did one together, well, not every time, many times, it was like flying by the seat of our pants type vibe. And like at least the very first one we did, I stayed up all night printing my.
Oh yeah.
My.
Well, that became part of the fun.
That's true. Yeah. I'm drawing Long Bee. I gotta go look at my Long Bee and see what he looks like.
Oh, Long Bee.
I'll just bring him over. Say hello to the people.
Hey.
Just gonna keep you right here. Oh, I got your face very wrong. I'm sorry, Long Bee. And I put your arms way too far up. That's okay.
It's artist interpretation. As far as this podcast goes, though, I'm like you know, I have like my art girly goals, but this podcast, I want it to be like, okay, like for the art girlies that are already successful, I watch their videos, and I'm like, wow. And that's how I feel about that. And then I want this to be like relatable, you know? Like it's not easy making it look good. Even if you're an amazing artist. Making it like look good on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Making it look like easy. That's so hard.
Yeah. And like something I think of that too is like, you know, artistic talent doesn't correlate into like success. Okay, that's obvious, but like people who can
sometimes it's hard to remember.
Yeah, people who can like be good at art and also be good at like presenting themselves as kind of a product and like just maintaining all the like presentation aspects of like the art. That in itself is like a rare skill to be able to do it all and present yourself well. That's
Yeah,
not common.
exactly.
Which is
So
why we're white knuckling ourselves into being that type of person. Yay!
yeah, and it's really helping. I mean, so far this club is really helping. Anytime I post something slightly vlog art girly and you say something encouraging, I'm like, I needed that so bad.
And that's what the Art Girly Poser Club is all about, which is about hyping up your girlies, asterisk, girlies can be anybody,
Yes.
and letting them know how you see them. Because you probably think
Exactly.
of your buds is like already doing it. And you just need to see yourself as like how all your little art girlies already see you.
I love that. Everyone's gonna want to join the club now.
Yeah, and you're welcome to. It's one of those clubs where we want everybody, I guess. And I know you're not supposed to join a club that wants you, but it's a poser club, so anybody can join.
Yeah, anybody can join unless you're mean.
Anybody can be a poser. That's what the poser lifestyle is all about. Inclusivity.
That's true. So, what are your insecurities going into art girly life?
You know, I've this is a spoiler for what I'll be posting in like it's supposed to be this week, but it'll probably be like a month from now. I've been trying to start making vlogs, and it's very intimate to just have to record yourself and your thoughts as the featured spotlighted product content, if you will. And I think my biggest fear is just being cringe. Like, what if I try really hard and it's cringe?
Like you thinking it's cringe or someone else thinking it's cringe?
I mean, I guess someone else, because if I'm trying this hard, it's in earnest. Like, even though it's just presenting a version of myself, and like ultimately it's to be consumed online by strangers, hopefully. There's truth to it. It is a part of me, and so like bearing my emotional ass like that on the internet. Can we swear on here? Are we swearing on this podcast?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so bearing my emotional behind on this podcast or on what I make, and then like if I try a 100%, which is what it feels like it takes to be an art girly, and then people are like, LMAO, this is cringe. That would destroy me.
I'll beat them up for you if they say that.
Thank you. I'll beat up your haters.
Thank you.
Unless it's you, I won't beat you up.
Well, maybe beat me up until I'm nice to myself.
I think my therapist says that doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Positive affirmation?
Okay, that's good. How did you ask the question? What are your hopes and dreams? What was it?
What are my insecurities?
Insecurities, same thing.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I mean, along the same lines, like, art is already so vulnerable. Yeah. And that's, like, when you're hiding behind it. So if I'm putting myself in front of it, it's like, okay, now if you, like, if you hate it, you really hate me. And that sucks. Yeah. And I'm insecure about, like, I'm never going to be cute enough to be an art girly. It's just not possible. So I don't know. I want to be able to be myself. Yeah. And also be a poser. Yeah. I want to be an authentic poser. Yeah. That no one hates. Yeah.
The truest poser version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what you said at the beginning was very profound in that I've spent a lot of my life, at least I can only speak for me, but like I spent a lot of my life hiding behind my art as the conduit to like communicate to people who I am and that I'm interesting, so I don't have to do it verbally or put myself out there. There's always like a layer in between who I am and like what I'm using to get people to like me. And you're right, being like a personality is I'm like back at square one of like this is what I've been trying to avoid. This is why I built this skill
Yeah,
set.
exactly. Ugh. And already when people are like less than enthusiastic about what I make, I'm like, why do you hate me?
Yeah.
Why don't you get it? So now it's gonna be even more so.
But I feel like one part of why I'm intrigued by the art girly lifestyle too, though, is that I think it's also like you're sort of building your little army of people who appreciate you, right? Like like-minded people who are
True.
like they do get it. Like I think that's the
Right, you can't find them without putting yourself out there.
yeah, that's the allure. Is like I know I was kind of joking about like to be featured in like one of the vlogs, but it's like it seems like they do have fun with each other because if you're like a massive fan of somebody and you're like parasocially attached to them, and then you find out they like you, and then
The
you
best.
get to just hang out, like that's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like just every little triangle filled with rainbow colors.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have like realized that at different tabling events when, you know, everyone's walking by and I'm like, how could you not stop at my cute table?
Yeah.
And then someone finally stops and they're like, this is so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a connection.
Yeah.
We're best friends now. So it is extra special when you find them. But so much easier just to stay home and not turn on the camera and the ring light. We should talk about our ring lights.
Let's talk about ring
exciting
lights.
is this?
Ring light corner. So I think we're both recent converts to the ring light lifestyle. Is that true?
I mean, yeah, one of my old roomies, shout out Aaliyah, is an influencer and she got a ring light. And
she's killing
I just
it.
thought, oh, that it kind of like it's like
we got to get her
she's
on the
killing
pod.
it.
She is an art girly who is not a poser.
Oh my gosh, yes. Do you think she would be on the pod?
I'd be honored. I'm still on
We'll
her
definitely ask her.
Instagram close friends circle, so I feel like we're still on good terms.
Nice. I think I am too.
I think that counts for something, right? Unless she's one of those
It
people who
counts
does
for everything.
everybody. But I don't think she
No. There's no point if you do everybody.
True.
But it's one of those things where I thought, I could never have one of those. That's like really cool. It's like my roommate Brooke had Doc Martens and I was like, I can't wear Doc Martens. She's way cooler than me. But now I do. And I have a ring light. So basically if you buy the thing, you get the coolness that comes with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where did you get your ring light?
I got it on Facebook Marketplace. This was my first ever Facebook Marketplace purchase.
Is that true?
It is true because I am intimidated by Facebook, which is not great for my art goalies. Art goalies?
Art goalies. It's a hockey podcast now.
Yeah, I got a Facebook Marketplace for $20.
Nice.
And it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to find this girl. But so worth it, as long as it doesn't die. Where did you get yours?
I got mine, so I recently moved to a new apartment, which you can probably tell by the bare blank walls behind me and the face cam.
So much potential.
So much potential. Gallery wall, baby. So I have been doing my rounds at the local thrift stores. So I was looking for what I was looking for that day was a, what do you call it? Like just the little sort of metal stainless steel cup thing that you hold all your spatulas and slotted spoons in next to the stove. I don't know if that has a name, but I was looking for one of those, and I turn a corner and then I see this big wide cardboard box with a picture of a ring light on it, and I'm like, oh, is it time? Is it time to be a art girly vlogger?
So the ring light was the whole instigator.
Yeah, and then they let me try it out. I had a very interesting conversation with this guy named, it was like Redfield or something, or Redmond.
What?
He was like a musician from CalArts, so we were kind of talking about that, and so he let me try it out.
He worked there?
Yeah, he and his friend both like went to CalArts, and then they were both working at the thrift store, and like clearly like barely trying, but in a very charming way. And I was like, I would have you on the pod. So it was just happenstance that I found it, and it was like $30, and it all worked, and all the pieces were there, and the stand's pretty good. So that was sort of the impetus to me even starting to actually vlog, was like finding the equipment before the idea, which is maybe a little backwards, but not the worst way to do it. Rather than,
oh yeah,
I mean, there's been definitely have been hobbies where I invest in it way too much and then I don't do anything. But when I'm like, it's like $30, I've spent that much on coffee in like a week or less.
Oh yeah, twice.
Yeah, $60 in 1 week, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm often inspired by materials, so I am so glad about this ring light, because it also made me use this mic that I bought from a friend that I had never used before.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bought it a year ago, so
Beautiful.
now I am making use.
And speaking of being inspired by materials, why don't you tell the people about what you're working on today?
Oh, well, I am working on a painted paper collage of cinema roll, because painted paper is my favorite medium. So I paint a bunch of papers, and then, I don't know if you can see this, but they're all in these bags here, sorted by color. These bags are Marie Kondo, by the way, from the Container Store.
Oh,
So worth it.
shout out
They're
Container
they
Store.
cost a little extra because of the name.
Is it Marie Kondo brand?
Yes.
Wow.
There's an exclusive with them. I love the Container Store. I highly recommend this set. You get five of them, and they have different colored zippers, so that's how I keep track of what color to put in the bag. Pretty great. And then these little circles. I have these colored paper circles from when I worked at Paper Source.
Amazing.
And there was a window display where they're hanging all these shapes, and there's so many extra. I was like, can I have them? So now I use them as bases, inspiration.
That's real artist hours. That's not even art girly hours. To see loose paper and say, I could use that, and hang on to it for years.
Oh yeah,
that's a real artist.
That store is actually closing, which is so sad.
No.
So I'm gonna go on Friday and buy all the things because it's on sale.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah, my gosh, I hate throwing stuff away. Under my bed, I have like, I don't even know what they are. They're like these boxes that used to have plates in them, I think. So they've got a big circle. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but they're so cool.
What's the longest time elapsed from when you got a material to when you
Oh my
used
gosh, that's a great question. Well, I used to collect paper when I was a child, and I saved it. Paper and stickers, I probably had certain paper and stickers for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Stickers lose their stickiness, which is such a shame.
That's a tragedy. Like, it should be like wine where they get more sticky over time.
Yeah, it really should. Ugh. What are you using today? I can't actually see what you're doing.
Yeah,
behind the scenes secret. I can't see what Steven's doing. And he can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah. We'll do a reveal at the end where we hold it up to the camera.
Oh yes, I better get a move on and start gluing.
So what I'm doing is just some light sort of manifesting, vision boarding / prop design. Not so much manifesting, but I'm just sort of drawing little bits and bobs, sort of little.
What are you drawing with?
Desk accoutrements. I'm drawing with this sort of purplish. Oh, let's get the camera. Purplish little clicky pen. What brand is this? It's a I guess it's Uniball pen. I don't remember where I got this, but I just like the feel of it. A Uniball 1. But it's not the best pen, but it's just like I like the clickiness and the weight and the. Okay, we'll get some nice ASMR. Listening to my mic.
I like that.
So I'm drawing with that, and then I'm just gonna be using good old Crayola to color these bad boys in. But for right now, I'm just doing the line art because as I've been drawing with crayon again, I've been reminded that you can't really do pen on top of crayon. So I'm doing the
Oh,
line art
that's
first.
true. Sad. How long have you had those crayons?
I believe I got it in like the fall, so only a couple months. But I've been getting my money's worth for sure because I think I paid like $3 at Target or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
I
to
have
answer
all
your
different
question,
kinds.
to answer your question about the art supplies, longest time elapsed.
Oh, yes.
I think some of the stickers I have they're definitely from the 90s because I have a set of Bugs Life stickers that I just used the other day. And that movie came out in what, 1997?
Probably.
So that's definitely a runner. And then I am still using this stack of just loose paper that I got from when my grandma moved out of her house like 14 years ago or something. It's
Oh
this
my
weird bumpy
gosh.
texture. Also, RIP grandma. She's no longer with us. But she
Hmm.
would appreciate that the art supplies are still being used because she was an artist. Um, so it's just this stack of weird, crappy, bumpy paper. But I just like, well, I got to use up the stack just whenever I have a chance.
Totally.
So I'm still going through that big old stack.
Okay, question. When you make things on loose paper, where do you put it?
I kind of have a loose paper pile, like it just goes from one pile to the other, sort of like I feel like in like old timey offices, there'd be like the two bins where it's like in and out, and like the papers you got to
Oh,
go
yeah.
through. So I just sort of have my in and out of like I draw on the paper, and then I put it on the other pile. Mission accomplished.
That's great. They don't fly around in the wind.
No, they just sort of get shoved in the same drawer as all the other loose papers. But you're right. Maybe I should bind those together.
Oh, you totally should. That'd be great. Here's another thing I've been wondering about.
What's that?
When do you let yourself get a new sketchbook? Because I have I have two sketchbooks right now that I think have like one page left in each. And then there's some pages that have some big spaces, and I'm like, I should fill up every space first.
True, true.
But I want a new one.
I have this is like one of the only parts of my art practice that I do feel kind of properly disciplined in that I don't buy okay, maybe I don't buy, but I don't start a new sketchbook until I fill up the one I'm using. Generally. Let me caveat that. I have a couple sketchbooks, but I try to have like a coherent theme or purpose for each one.
Oh,
So
wow.
for example, like I have like a watercolor or mixed media sketchbook. And that's another one that I've
Yeah.
had for like over 10 years, where it's just like whenever I travel and I finally have the time to sit down and do watercolor, I'll pull out that bad boy. And like that's what it's specifically used for. And then recently I started doing my like secret personal sketchbook, which has been really, really nice for me, where it's truly like the crappiest paper. Like I'll grab it, I'll show you because it's over here.
Ooh, we get to see a secret.
So do you know Kinokuniya, the bookstore inside Mitsuwa, the Japanese market?
Oh, I've been there, but a long time
Yeah,
ago.
obsessed. I could easily spend like over $100 every time I go there. But they have these like children's little
Oh, yes.
workbooks,
I definitely
and
got one of those in high
yeah,
school.
so this says it was $315 plus tax, and so I've already filled up one of these. So this is truly just when I'm drawing in the evening and I just want to just kind of go outside my normal realm of what I would draw. So all my like spicy drawings, all my NSFW drawings that nobody else gets to see, that goes in there, and you guys won't get to see that.
Ooh, bummer.
But just letting myself draw without anybody ever having to see it, so liberating. And I know that's
Yeah,
like
that's pretty
something people
great.
talk about, but like actually doing it, it's like wow, I get to just like slow down and like draw as correctly or incorrectly as I want. That's been really nice. So I have that, and then sketchbook that you see right here, or that, well, you don't see, Bethany, but everybody at home will see. This is just like one of my beater sketchbooks. I think I bought a 2-pack of these at Blick's like 5 years ago for like $10 or less. So this is just like my garbage, just sort of whatever sketchbook. But then because I just started dumping ideas into it, I'm like, wait, I kind of like this now. This is kind of nice. So this has sort of become my go-to. And then I also have the sketchbook that I keep on me at all times, which is this guy, which is actually a bullet journal.
Yes.
And this is the one that lives in my bag because I can carry it around with me at all times. So that's a necessity. So they all, I try to make sure they all have different purposes, and even if I buy new journals, like I just had it. Where'd I put it? Oh, it's right here. I just bought this neat, I don't even know what it's called, but
That's so cute.
it had flounders on it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but well, one, it has a recipe for how to make this delicious dish of flounder.
Whoa.
But the pages aren't bullet journal, and it's not graph paper. It's sort of these rectangles.
rectangles?
Yeah. So I saw it, and I'm like, that's interesting. I kind of like the texture, and I like the size. And also there's like, you probably won't be able to see it, but there's a little squiggle where it's like the water line of the ocean, and then you draw everything below that. So
Oh, that's really cute.
yeah, it's a great find. So I do buy a lot of sketchbooks, especially lately, but I try to fill them up very methodically and thoughtfully.
Okay. So I should buy one then. Or make one. I was thinking I should just make one, but it's so fun to buy them.
It is. There's so many good ones with different paperweight and all that. What's your sketchbook keeping philosophies, if you have any?
You mean like once they're full?
Yeah, or like you said,
just like having one.
like how do you fill them up? How do you fill them up, if you do?
Oh, well, my philosophy so far has been just to have one at a time and to use it for everything. But then, so I got like the kind that's for mixed media because I want to use it for everything. But then whenever I draw on one of those pages, I feel like I wasted it because I could have done that on any paper. But then I got one. My sister gave me one that's like really flimsy. Here it is. So this one I started carrying around everywhere, and I really enjoyed that. But then I never would put anything in the other one. Just like, how do I keep track? So I think what I want to do from now on is have one mixed media and one just carry around floppy guys.
Yeah.
It's really fun to draw people on the train, and I don't want to pull out like a big old heavy duty mixed media one.
Yeah.
And this one I got when I was like depressed, and I thought buying a sketchbook would help, and it did. But it's like heavyweight paper, and then I was using it for lesson planning, and what a waste of space that is. So now I want to go back and like paint over all my lesson plans that I wrote when I could have just used notes on my phone. But here we are. So this is why I feel like I can't buy a new one, because I need to paint over these boring pages. So yeah, and then now that I'm like, you know, getting out there, like I go to a drawing meetup every once in a while on Mondays now, and people might look at my sketchbook, and I'm like, well, it's gotta be. The first time I went, someone looked at my sketchbook, and I was like, sorry about all the lesson plans. Those are boring. So I just want to, you know, I just want it to be good.
Yeah. Relatable.
Is that too much to ask?
I mean, I feel like there's, on the art corners of the internet, I feel like there's some discourse about like the prevalence of like the beautiful sketchbook and how we need to get away from that again.
Yeah.
Like, again,
I love the idea of what you're saying of doing one where no one's gonna see it.
Yeah, I know, it's like beating a dead horse. This is not anything new, but
Well, I never thought about it.
I mean, I think art girly type media has definitely proliferated the beautiful sketchbook sort of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of them will be like, actually, like, I'm making this look nice for the internet, but it still sets sort of a precedence where, yeah, because even just having a page or two in your sketchbook that's not like a beautiful spread, if it's just like notes or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
impulse is to oh, I gotta zhuzh it up and make it look
That's
nice.
exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. Even the Hobonichi journals, people will paint over the pages that they've already filled out or on a date that's passed.
Yeah?
And it's that's a planning journal. What are you doing? I say that as I have a Hobonichi that I'm planning on doing exactly that too. But such
Can you tell me more about Hobonichi? Because I don't really know a lot about it.
God, I don't know. I'm making a vlog about it, but I need to actually research it for the vlog. Honestly, again, this is the whole "you are not immune to propaganda" thing. I've totally fallen for the bait of just oh, it's a cute planning journal that Megan Wang uses. I should use it because I want to be her.
So you actually plan in it?
I guess I kind of zone out when I see other people planning, but you can sort of have a. Let's see. I'll pull it up and try to show it on cam. The one I have is not the popular one. That one's called the Hobonichi Cousin, a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah.
But
Saw that.
this one, it's like a daily thing, and there's sort of you can plan hour by hour in the left column, and then there's also a monthly page where you can sort of block out your month. And I know a lot of people use it to sort of
hour by hour is insane.
It is, but it's also you only have half an inch to a quarter inch to write your notes. Okay. And there's also a monthly planner. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole cottage industry. There's fun jackets you can buy with little custom designs, and those are honestly really cute and sometimes more expensive than the journal itself, which I guess makes sense because the journal's just paper. I don't know. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole you can keep going down. But I am not an organized person. Shout out INFPs. I'm not organized. I think a lot of artists are INFJs, which I think is interesting. But I'm trying to, if not plan my life, at least set intention to my day. So I know approximately what I want to do.
Just do some yoga with Adrian every day and that will definitely happen.
Yeah, I am strong.
Set an intention for the practice.
I will say, even if being an art girly is a slog, I would rather be an art girly trying to make it than a yoga girly trying to make it.
Oh, that is such a great point.
That seems rough.
Tell me more.
Imagine, okay, maybe it's not bad because you're still exercising and stuff, but imagine you're putting up all these yoga videos and just showing your whole human body in every video. And either nobody's watching it or it's a bunch of creeps watching it, and you're just not making it. Yeah. That seems bad.
That is so sad.
Maybe I'm assuming too much, but when I see the off-brand yoga with Adrian's, I'm just why would I watch this when I have yoga with Adrian and Benji's in there too?
I know. I mean, that's how I am too, but I have, my roommate doesn't like yoga with Adrian because she thinks she's, too silly, too easy. But then she, does this yoga person who's, a goddess. And I'm I don't want to watch her. I can't put my body into contortions that.
Yeah, I can't relate to this because they're well.
Okay. Yeah, I need yoga with Adrian. She's oops, drop that. Blah, blah, blah. Fixing my mic.
Keeps very relatable.
Yes, that's exactly like us. She probably wants to be in our club.
Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste. Alright, I've decided to switch background colors. Exciting.
I should probably move on to the coloring aspect because we are 45 minutes in, if you can believe it.
I can't believe it. How long did we say we were going to make these?
I think 30 minutes, 20 to 30. Whoopsies! It's okay, people love long form.
I can't do anything in 20 minutes.
People love long form, and you can't rush art.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Love that movie.
Shout out Toy Story 2.
I am comforted by the fact that if no one else watches this, Justin will.
So true. And my mom probably.
No way.
Well, I just won't tell her, but she'll
Shout
find
out your
it
mom.
somehow.
I think I'm going to need a new glue pen. Do you ever use glue pens?
How's that different than a glue stick? Oh,
Looks like a pen.
I don't, because I have not seen that before.
Oh, they're fantastic.
I'm a fake art girly. Don't know about glue pens.
There's just too many things to keep up with. Being fake is so much easier. I mean, being a poser. Being an authentic poser is so much easier than being in the know about everything.
You know, there's, not to get too philosophical about the gag name we have for the podcast, but I think there is something to being a poser versus being a faker. Because posers, like, you're trying really hard to be like a type of person. And it's like maybe embarrassing because you don't have your own identity, but also you're trying really hard. Like, that's still something.
You don't think fakers try really hard?
I think fakers don't actually do the thing though. They just try to create the illusion they're doing the thing versus posers.
Oh, that's a good
Posers are trying so hard, man. Posers are being cringe, but they're out there. They're out there in the streets, like trying to make it happen.
That's us.
Yeah.
We're out there in the streets.
We out here in the streets, as the kids say.
With our ring lights.
Yeah.
Here's
A
my
faker
ring
wouldn't buy a
light.
ring light. A faker would say they have a ring light and then be like, "Oh, sorry, it's in the shop. I can't show you."
That's true. All right, fresh glue pen, exciting.
Okay, I'm kind of blanking on what other essentials would go on an art desk. What am I missing
Do you
here?
have a little tiny trash can?
I don't. What else?
A plant.
Oh, I got a couple of those.
Good. A mug.
I got one of those.
A paint cup.
Oh, I'll put that next to the mug and I'll write "Do not drink."
Yes. Love that. You have snacks.
No, I'm missing some essentials.
Oh, here's one of the questions I prepared for us was, why can't you be happy with the way things are now? Why do you need to be an art girly?
You're really coming for me in episode 1
Or
here.
why can't you just consider yourself an art girly already?
I think the difference between being an artist and an art girly is art girlies are perceived.
Okay.
I think it goes back to the top of our episode. We're talking about hiding behind the thing you make as your personality versus like, I make art and I'm a person and you can perceive me.
Yeah.
So, wait, what was your
And
question?
does it come back to you wanting to make money?
Kind of.
Why can't you be happy with how things are?
Oh, right. Why can't I be happy with things? That's, I mean, oh, okay. That goes beyond the art girly thing. Yeah, it's like I think I want to be known, and like the art, being known through your art is like, you know, it's a beautiful thing at times. It's like you find like-minded people who like, you're basically exposing the inside of your brain to them, and then you're trying to, I mean, at least for me, I'm trying to find people who think how I think by sharing my art, and then we can like vibe over that. But I think being an art girly in some ways is more holistic, where you're not exposing just your art, but your art process and like your failures and also just your life outside of it a lot of the times. And honestly, those are often the most charming parts of like watching some of these people who we admire, is like seeing the art contextualized inside their whole life of the other things that are going on, and like, let me make breakfast with you, or like, I need to go on a walk, I'm going to see my friends. Like, those types of things are all part of it. And I think as I get older and I think about like how much I've time I've spent hiding behind what I make. It's like, actually, I do want to be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I am taking this extremely hard and long-winded process of being perceived by people, of making things and putting it online where it can't ever be deleted, instead of just going outside and talking to somebody.
Wow.
Does that make
Going
sense?
outside and talking to somebody can be just as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you put that really well. Wanting to be perceived and known. I think we all want to be known.
Mm-hmm.
And artists have like a I don't know, a complex.
Yeah, they really got something stuck in their craw about it.
It is so hard to make art that no one sees. And it's like, as great as that whole idea is, and I want to do it, it's really hard because the point of art is to be seen.
Yeah.
So it like feels like something's missing. Because you want, the whole point is to like show it and connect with people.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm saying the whole point as if there's a definition for art that's the same for everyone.
I got coffee with a friend named Thomas. He's another storyboard artist in animation, and we were talking about like art. Well, of course we're talking about art. We're never not talking about art, but he was talking about the show he worked on and sort of like almost caring too much about it and getting too invested in something that is, for better or for worse, it's a product, right? And so I don't remember how we got on this topic of like what is art or what's real art, and his definition was like the only true art is like, and he was saying that his partner, who's also an artist, is like always makes fun of him for this, but he's saying like the only real art is like the things like maybe what children make, where there's no self-awareness and it's just like pure creation for the sake of itself. And then
I would not argue with that.
That's
such a good point.
I think I kind of agree. And like then the example he gave, which was exactly what I was thinking right before he said it, was Francisco Goya's black paintings, which are, if you
I think you showed me.
Yeah, so the famous one that has somehow also become a meme is, it's called, it's been called Saturn Devouring His Son, and it's this massive painting
It's terrifying.
of like this nasty figure just like ripping off the top of his naked torso. And even though we call it that, that's not what Francisco Goya called it, because he made the black paintings when he was going insane in his house and he was painting this shit on the walls, and he died, and then people found it and now it's art history. But it was not meant to be seen. It was just a man going bananas in his house and making some wild stuff. So I think that's true art. Maybe it's not coming from a great place for Mr. Goya, but there's something beautiful about just like being unhinged and
expressing.
Yeah. Pure expression.
Being unhinged. I like to think you don't need to be unhinged to make art.
Yeah.
But I definitely like what he said about the kids thing, because I teach kids, yes, and I like the kids who are like 3 to 6, and they're like, I'm gonna draw an alligator, and they go, and I'm like, how did you do that? It's like amazing. And then when they get like 6 and a half, they're like, can I look at the iPad to see how to draw this? And I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be good. Even if you copy it exactly, I'm gonna be like, so what? But not like I don't copy things all the time and use reference photos, but when they just like don't care if it looks perfect, quote unquote, it's amazing. And I have so many pictures of their work that I want to get as tattoos, and one day I will. But I don't want them to be freaked out about it, so I'm waiting.
Move cities, then cover your
They're not
body
my
with
students
tattoos
anymore.
of children's drawings.
They're just so good. How is your drawing coming? Are you almost done?
I'm almost done, but I haven't colored a thing. How's
That's
your
okay.
drawings?
I finished cinnamon roll, but now I'm doing balloons. So once I finish my 3 balloons, I'll be done.
I need like 2 or 3 more art desk things to add to fill up the space.
Wow, you must have a big desk.
Yeah, this is.
Or did you not draw a desk?
I didn't draw a desk. I'm just drawing the objects sort of floating.
Oh, okay. How about colored pencils?
I sort of have drawing utensils going on already. I guess I could draw a pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite pencil sharpener?
Oh, I have an answer. Let me grab it. I keep that thing on me. It's this. What is the name of this thing? The Tugal
Whoa, that's cool.
multi-sharpener. So you can sort of dial this thing to like adjust the diameter of what it sharpens. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. You get some nice
That's really
sharpening that
cool.
you don't normally get from pencil sharpeners. So
I'm gonna keep an eye out for
yeah,
that.
I think I just ordered it on Amazon. I mean, I know we try not to order things on Amazon when we don't have to.
I don't try that hard not to, but I have more self-control with Amazon, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for when I'm out and have less self-control,
Yeah.
and I will buy it. You want to see my favorite?
Yes. Oh, the nose.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty
A
good.
classic.
It's good until it breaks. But we have like a bunch of these where I work, and then my friend gave me one for my birthday, and I was like, you know me so well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But it does only one shape, one size. So it leaves much to be desired. That's better than this other one I have that I got for free.
Okay, I should probably start coloring this.
I have some regrets about what I've made.
Don't we all? So we're about to hit the 1 hour mark here.
Oh boy. Well, we can edit stuff out, right? Or no?
Yeah, we can edit stuff out.
Or we could split it into 2.
Did you answer the question of why are you doing this? What are your fears? What was it?
Oh my gosh. Oh, why aren't I happy with things right now? I think that the main thing is the reasons I haven't done it are not good. I've just been like afraid of like being annoying or people thinking poser. So this is great because I'm like owning it. But yeah, I'm doing it because if I put all those fears aside, I also want to be known, and like I said before, I want people to know me so they will like my art more. And also because I feel like you can't really get anywhere unless you have a following.
Yeah. It's
not that I need to like get to a certain place, but I do feel like I'm kind of stuck. I'm like, I want to do more, so this is like a achievable goal for doing more with my art.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how much it helps these days to like have that clout. Like I do it myself, where I'm like, who's this person who followed me? And if they got numbers, I'm more willing to like give their work a second look versus like if it's just some rando, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna move on.
Exactly, it just sucks.
Although, okay, maybe not all the time, because there are artists where it's like they're just like the best artist you've ever seen, and then they got like 200 followers, and you're like, what's happening here? Why is this happening?
Yeah, that's what I like to think about me.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? Where are my followers?
So my AirPods are about to die. They made a little boop 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 sound when they're about to die.
Oh no, I
So,
hate that sound.
Maybe we can wrap up the audio portion of this podcast, but I might continue coloring what I'm coloring just to get it done. How does that sound to
Okay.
you?
That sounds good because I'm not done and I want to finish it.
Yeah, we'll keep this brief for the people. And by brief, I mean 1 Earth hour.
People. They can't get enough of us.
We really can't. Well, do you have any closing thoughts on this inaugural episode of Art Girlie Poser Club podcast?
I want to say that I'm so proud of us.
I am too. We're doing it. This looks great.
We're doing it. You made an overlay. I set up my mic. You set up a camera. I think I'm recording what I'm doing with my hands, and that's so great.
It's beautiful.
So go us.
We're
Also, I've always wanted to do a podcast with you, and it's dream come true.
Yeah, I kind of prefer the video podcast because I think I have more to offer visually than audio.
Yeah, you do. Awesome, we found it.
We did it.
We found it. What are your closing thoughts?
You know, I had a thought when we were talking about being a poser. I think being a poser is the new being a slut, where we're sort of reclaiming that.
Scorpio poser era.
No more slut shaming, no more poser shaming. Like, being a poser is just a step to getting to being the real thing. And that's fine. And there's no need to shame people for wearing their influences on their sleeve, because that's how everybody starts. You just start biting the style of the people you're obsessed with, and you find your own voice along the way. Unless you're a real poser, in which case you quit because you don't have any good ideas. But we're not that. We're
Well, still, even that, like, you tried it.
That's true.
And then you didn't, like, find your way there. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true. You're still a person. You still have other areas that you are creative and successful in, and you'll find your voice.
Yeah, and I've tried lots of things that I quit, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I was a grad school poser.
And look at
And
you
then
now. You have a podcast.
And look at me now.
What's a success like having a podcast?
There's nothing cooler.
Well, I'm gonna keep drawing this. I'll just let the stream run for a bit longer, or I might speed up the video. Who knows? But I think I'll sign off on this part of it. Thank you for joining us for Art Girlie Poser Club podcast episode 1. We're so glad you tuned in, and hopefully you're still listening. And is this anything?
Is this anything?
Is this anything? All right, y'all. Signing off for now.
Well, thank you to our nasty little freaks.
Thanks, you nasty little freaks. Come watch us again next time. Leave a comment, leave a like.
If you made it this far, you're absolutely a nasty
You're
little
a freak. You're a nasty, grubby little thing. We're just standing over you with a magnifying glass looking at you, you nasty little thing.
freak. Looking over you with love.
Yeah, inspecting so carefully. Okay, gang. Catch you next time.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye. Wow, we did it!
We